Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Welcome back to Living the French Dream. Today we will talk about the southeast of France. Today it's a special because southeast makes like a lot of Americans, and more than that, like a lot of people dream of France with the sun, with the ocean offshore, the seaside. We have the pleasure to welcome some wonderful speakers today. We are joined by Fabricio Carminati, founder of French Riviera House Hunting, who brings over 20 years of Riviera experience and the human design-driven approach to property. And we have the great pleasure, it's a special one today because we have a lot of testimonials of Americans who made this dream to moving to France through or buying a property at least. So we will share their experience, and we will start before that with Savita Kuti, who is leading the leisure tourism development for the Nice Côte d'Azur Visitors Bureau. And she will present globally the regions and what makes it so inspiring. We are live, so don't forget to ask your questions to our speakers, to share your experience eventually. And we will also share the QR code, so feel free to contact our speakers. We put those presentations on replay. And just before we start, I would like to take a quick moment to thank the partners who make Living the French Dream possible. If you are thinking about buying a property, moving to France, they have the know-how to make it easier. And so let's roll a quick video to see how they can help you on your journey.
Bonjour and welcome. I'm Alison Lunès, founder of Your Transformation, and we're thrilled to be sponsoring this year's Dream Life in France Summit with Frenchly. At Your Transformation, we help individuals, couples, and families turn their dream of living in France into reality, with expert support for visa applications, relocation planning, and everything that comes after you arrive in France. Whether you're just starting to explore your move or you're ready to take the leap, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Start by checking out our book Foolproof French Visas and attending one of our free monthly Q&A sessions. And let's start making your dream life in France happen together.
And let's start talking about the southeast of France. Savita, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Hi guys, thank you Clément, thank you for welcoming me in this program. So I'm very glad to be with all of you today and to share a bit of the beautiful Nice Côte d'Azur destination. So I'm from the tourism board, but I'm born and raised in the region of Nice Côte d'Azur, so I know quite well this region, and I'm very proud of it. So if we go on the first slides, yes, like this, I will share first of all the map of our destination. So as Clément told you, we are located in the southeast of France, between Cannes and Monaco. So half an hour from Cannes, half an hour from Monaco, and less than an hour from the Italy border. So when you are landing in Nice, you can cross and discover 3 different countries during your stay and your future long stay, I hope. So we enjoy 300 sunny days per year. So it's a mid-climate, and we are located between sea and mountains. So to reach the mountains from the sea, you need about an hour and a half by car or by buses to reach it. That means that in such one stay and one day, you can start the day on a sunny terrace facing the Mediterranean, and then at midday, you can ski in our 7 ski and mountain resorts, and you can ski facing the Mediterranean, so which is quite nice. Our ski resorts are the most famous ones, so we are not Courchevel or Megève, but we have Isola 2000 and Oron, the most famous one, where you can enjoy about 400 kilometers of ski and sunny slopes. And we are located in a national park called Mercantour National Park. So Nice Côte d'Azur is not only about the sea, which is quite nice and beautiful, but it's also about combining sea and mountains. Regarding the events, in winter, so we have the third carnival of Europe and of the world, as we welcome every year the Nice Carnival in mid-February until beginning of March. So 2 weeks of festivities. And it's one of our most important events in winter. But also we enjoy cultural and festive events such as many exhibitions that we welcome every year in our museum. I will tell you more after later. But in terms of sportive events, we welcome, for example, the Ironman every year. So the Ironman France, but also the Ironman World Championship. So this year we welcome the men's edition, and next year we will welcome the women's. We have the first airports after Paris, and also we benefit from an important networks in terms of hotels and tourism residencies. So as I told you about our airport, so it's the first international airports after Paris in France. So we are very well connected to all the international hubs and also worldwide. US is our first market in terms of frequentation. So especially since COVID, because before it was the British and the UK. So we are directly connected to New York, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Washington. And next year, we will be directly connected seasonally to Boston. When you land in Nice, to reach the city center from the airport is just 10 minutes of driving distance. That means that everything is very close by, and you also enjoy one of our best views when you land to a place. So very well connected to the US. Here I've shared with you some beautiful pictures of the landscape that you may discover in our 3 different zones. So we have the seaside with Nice, with Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, with Cap d'Aille. Then we have the mid-country located at just half an hour from the city center of Nice. And you change landscapes with beautiful hilltop villages, with Vence, with Saint-Paul-de-Vence, for example, and the highland with the beautiful ski and mountain resorts and the Mercantour National Park. So it's really a destination that you can enjoy year-round. Everything is open year-round also, the hotels and all the activities, which is quite important also in south of France. So Nice is the capital of the French Riviera, is the 5th largest city in France, and it's really a city you live. Everything is reachable by walking. So the distances are very very close, which is not the case in the US, for example. That means that you can reach everything by walking: the museum, the city center, the seaside, etc. It's a larger city, but still on the human side. So regarding the inhabitants, we have about 350,000 inhabitants. It's when you are discovering Nice, you will discover the art of living through different aspects: the culture, the Mediterranean art of living with the olive oil, with the wines, with also our strong gastronomy, and all our bars, cafes, rooftops, and beautiful landscapes. It's modern, it's a safe city, and it's green. We still had a lot of green spaces and green areas in the region. Regarding the luxury aspect, so this destination is benefit from an evolution and an upgrading in terms of the hospitality industry and all the premium experiences. So regarding the 5-star hotels, we have many renovations and we welcome brand new 5-star hotels properties. So many investments have been made in the region to upgrade the luxury aspects of the destination, because when you are thinking of Nice, first, of course, you are thinking about the beautiful landscape, the seasides, but when you are thinking about luxury aspects, you are more thinking about Cannes, Monaco, and Saint-Tropez. So since several years, Nice has become more and more important on the luxury aspects. About the culture and heritage, so we are the second city in France in terms of number of museums and also cultural centers and artist galleries, because this region, because of the landscape, the special lights and the location between sea and mountains, has always attracted artists, and it remains today a place of international creation. So a large concentration of museums with many permanent and temporary exhibitions year-round. So among the most famous ones, we have the Chagall Museum, the Matisse Museum, but also we have nearby Nice, we have the Picasso Museum in Antibes, for example, which is quite well known, but we also do have the National Museum of Sports, the Museum of Photography, so many aspects to cover about the cultural and heritage aspects. Of course, we will not forget to eat and drink. So we also have some grapes in the Var region. So we have many grapes and many wine domains. But in Nice also, in the hills of Nice, we have an AOC appellation, a control appellation called Bellay, which is a twin sister appellation of Bandol in Provence. So we produce the wine. You can visit the wine domains. You can participate to some wine tasting. We can organize also some picnics with local specialties in the middle of the grapes. And we will propose you a sunny gastronomy with a lot of vegetables, olive oil, fish, as we are located in the Mediterranean. And we provide some local and seasonal products. So that means that every weeks and in every also season, you will find different specialties to enjoy and to taste. So many restaurants, many cafes to enjoy the art of living in the region. Also, we have in the territory a lot of local expertise and know-how to explore. So thanks to some cooking classes, so you can learn in small groups the different recipes from our region, and then you can share the lunch with the group. You can visit some confectionery shops, perfume factories, and you can also create your own perfume. So in Nice, in Aise, and also in Grasse, you can enjoy this kind of activities. We have still some oil milling activities, so we produce also the olive oil because we have many olive trees. So pottery, ceramic, a lot of know-how to discover in the region and to experience. And the island, so in the mountains, you can enjoy a lot of outdoor activities year-round: hiking, cycling, biking, paragliding, via ferrata, skiing. We also have the largest zip line in France. So for all the levels, you can enjoy our outdoor activities year-round. And also, there are a lot of know-how in the island, a lot of cheese factories, producers to meet. So regarding the art of living, we have many markets to meet the local producers by the seaside, but also by the mountains. As I told you at the beginning of the presentation, so we had a lot of green spaces and green area in the region, and we tried to be as much as green and eco-responsible as much as we can, because of course when you're landing in it, so you will use the plane, but when you are in the destination, in the Nice Côte d'Azur destination, we try to help the hotel and to support financially all the hotels that want to obtain the Green Key label. We also promote all the restaurants that provide the seasonal products, and also regarding the mobility. When you are in the destination, you can do everything. So as I told you, in Nice by walking, but also we have the train that connects all the coast, but also that connects a part of our hilltop villages. We have many buses also, and we have 3 tramway lines in Nice, one that connects the ports to the airports. We also have one line that connects the airport to our Allianz Riviera Stadium, where we have football, all the sports events, but also some concerts and festivals. And also we have one line that connects the whole city center of Nice. So everything regarding the mobility, we have many cycling tracks. So when you are in Nice and in the region, you will really enjoy slow down and experience and explore all the surroundings. So this is the QR code to our website. We also have some itineraries, some articles of blogs, so that will give you inspiration contents about the destination. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer it. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, Savita. I would say time to pack your luggage. We need to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really tempting. And we tend to forget that it's not only the seaside, but also,
Exactly.
during winter, you can go and ski like in a couple of hours, which is incredible. Thank you so much. Don't forget, if you have any questions, please add them. Quick question, is there like maybe a part of the city or somewhere like Americans like to gather, or like their favorite place?
But their favorite place, normally that it's located nearby the Promenade des Anglais and the sea. But they also really enjoy the old town, to meet the local producers and to go in the narrow streets of the old town with the colored facades and the boutiques.
Perfect, tempting.
And also they really appreciate to go to one of our top villages, which is called Ez, which is a village located at 15 minutes traveling distance from Nice, where you can enjoy one of the most beautiful panoramic view of the region by the exotic garden of this village.
Everything is closed, especially when you come
exactly.
When
you are crossing Los Angeles, you are going from Nice to Marseille.
Yes, that's a good point. And is there like Carol is asking if there is like a place where Americans tend to live?
They tend to live in Nice, in the hills, I mean, or in Villefranche-sur-Mer and Cannes. And Antibes.
Antibes,
also.
okay.
Yeah.
It's less touristic, but close to everything.
Not less touristic, but it's smaller. If they want life to enjoy like the village atmosphere nearby the sea, they will choose Antibes. If they want like a bigger city, but still on the human side, they will prefer Nice. So yes, seaside villages, Villefranche-sur-Mer and Antibes, and a more important city, they will prefer Nice. And also for all the event, and because it's really a year-round destination and everything is open. I mean, the hotel, which is not the case of all the cities around.
Okay, I think it's a great transition to Fabricio, because he has like a great expertise about like buying properties coming from the US. Thank you very much, Savita.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Likewise. And Fabricio, please join us. And you are also joined with Traci.
Yes.
An American who made her dream to come to France true. So thank you, both of you, for joining us. And we have a few questions about where to live to avoid a bit of the touristic place as well. We will answer that shortly. I give you the mic, and we'll get back to the questions after.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Hello, everybody. And I will do my presentation just after, but I think that we want to have a first testimony from Traci and Marc. that bought a house with us in Montauroux. Montauroux is in the just after Cannes, I would say, on going west. And we helped them buying this house a couple of years ago. Since then, I think that we're more friends than clients, more friends than clients now. And yeah, Traci, if you want maybe to share with us your experience, what the difference maybe also, and the challenges, the process of buying and now living here.
Yeah, well, thank you, Fabricio.
Sure.
We started looking in during COVID, and which made it, of
Yeah.
course, a very frustrating experience. And we originally thought, that we were going to try to find something that was close by the sea, which would probably have put us in a budget-wise, something probably a lot smaller. But because it was COVID, we kind of learned this lesson that we really wanted elbow room, and we wanted a bigger villa. We wanted a bigger space. And so to do that, we were able to look at one of the perch villages in Fayence, the Fayence region, which is just over the department line in the Var. And so we're about 45 minutes west of Nice. And what's interesting is we have a small village experience in a 12th century village, but we're close enough to everything we want to get to. So we had friends that have come to visit who were thinking, oh, well, we're not going to stay very long. It doesn't look like there's much to do. But within just a couple of hours in either direction, there's so much to do here. It is so culturally dense that we're able to find so much and are able to enjoy the life that we're making here. So,
Yeah.
question, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of cultural events also around Montauroux. There's a lot of outdoor sports or activities to do also. And you're not so far. I mean, you're not so far away from Nice, like 45 minutes. So it's 45 minutes also to the airport, which it's interesting. And you have the possibility there to have more green. You're surrounded by forest, which is very nice also. And it's true that you have all amenities, 5 minutes driving from the house?
Yes, everything is very close. We are very well appointed in our village of about 7,000 people, or maybe a little less than that. So everything that you possibly could need is here. And if there's something else that you want, it's not very far to drive. We're about 30 minutes from Cannes, 45 minutes from Nice. And also we are not far from San Rafael and Fréjus on the other side. So there's plenty of things to do. We've been able to also look at our house as a long-term investment. And so we're been able to improve upon it dramatically. It was great to begin with. In fact, we were one of those people that bought the house without actually seeing it. Initially, we had such a great relationship with Fabricio that we saw it for the first time the day before we closed. But
Right.
It was wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful at that point. But we've done so much to it to make this our forever home. So while we are currently in the process of kind of going back and forth between Washington and in here, that we are continually, expanding and making it better over time. And then I think another thing I would really talk about is like the process of actually trying to integrate and become part of the fabric of this society. It's not something that we just come in and then we go out like vacationers. We don't do that. In fact, today I volunteer and teach English classes at our local library called a Mediatek. I've been very dedicated to learning French and taking lessons. So I have now obtained my B1 lesson or a diploma, I guess.
Congratulations.
It was it's been an adventure, but we go out and we meet not just American friends, but we meet the local people and we become part of that, which is the entire point of being here. And so that's the thing I would actually encourage other people to do, is to really be here, to
Right.
learn the food, learn the culture, appreciate what it is, and to really make yourself home here.
Alors, vous parlez un peu français?
Oui,
Oui. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more about the I would say main differences? Maybe, I don't know, prices or life here in comparison to the US.
So from a pricing of homes perspective, we live in the Washington, D.C. area, so homes are really extravagantly expensive, not California pricing, but still high. So we're able to get a lot of value for what we would have paid in the United States. Currently, the conversion rate's not as favorable as it was when we initially came here, but again, it's not outrageous. It's still, worth the investment. But there are some things that are a little bit interesting in terms of getting used to things in our village. Like the grocery stores close at 12:30 on a Sunday, and things may close. Certain things might close for a break for lunch, and that's something that's not very understandable from an American perspective. I went to the post office today and it closed for the day at 12:45 for the entire day. And as an American, I'm used to, things are available and open to me whenever I want. And so that is one of the things that it's taken getting used to, is there's a different pace here. There's a different approach to living. And Americans are very much into do all the time, which is why we have so much stress. And one thing I appreciate so much about being here is that being, or être, the verb to be is more important than the verb faire, to do. And just to step back and say, I'm going to be with my family, I'm going to relax, and I'm not going to go grocery shopping on Sunday afternoon, and I'm not going to do. That is part of learning to get into the warp and the weave of the culture here, and to appreciate people and relationships over money and things.
Right, it's true. Yeah, really true. Yeah, and well, some years ago, government decided that we would work only 35 hours a week. But I must say that it's only true for public administration, and they really apply it. That's true. That's what the post office is closed at 12:45. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sorry. And any challenges or things that you find?
Yeah, and I was going to get into that. Challenges that there is a stereotype about bureaucracy in France, and I will say it's true. And you just have to have a lot of patience in dealing with how the mentality works necessarily here, and things that there's a phrase here that I hear a lot: "Pas possible," it's not possible. And so that's a thing that, as an American, you're going to have to figure out how to help people to overcome that particular thought process, right, and perhaps offer some alternatives that they may not have thought about. But it's just a different type of mentality here, as opposed to Americans who think they can do everything. That's just how we've been raised. So right. it's a process. It's not bad. It's just different. And so I've seen some things. Honestly, there's an article that they run occasionally on CNN about expats, Americans who go abroad, and their experiences. And there was one couple who came to France, and they're like, "Oh, we have to go back. This is awful." And I think if you come with the mentality of saying, this is the United States and we're going to bring it with us, you're going to have problems. If you come here and say, there is a beautiful country, with wonderful people, with wonderful culture experiences, just an amazing opportunity to do something different, to be someone different than you always have been, and embrace that, you're going to have a much different expectation.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Trace. That was a fantastic testimonial. We probably have some questions after, so you're staying with us. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. And so I'm going to start my presentation. So there's a thank you again, Tracy. There are some topics that we covered already with the tourism office, but so I am Fabricio Carminati. I'm the founder and CEO of French Riviera House Hunting. We help expats and especially Americans to buy or rent their house or apartment here in the French Riviera. We have them finding the place, the dream home, and we have also with some relocation services, opening a bank account, getting the French telephone line, etc., etc. All services linked, I would say, to the acquisition or the rental of their property. So yeah, there are some topics that will pass very quickly. We talked already in the first presentation. I just have some proof about what was said before. About the mountain. This is me skiing in Isola 2000, which is just an hour and a half driving from Nice, and this is me mountain biking just on the hills of Nice. So it's true. Okay. So we talked about the beautiful sceneries, the mountains. So it's a really the plus of the region is not only the sea again, is that we have a beautiful landscapes and countryside is just amazing. We talked about culture. I will pass on that. Just wanted to insist a little bit on first of all, the couple of differences. First of all, of course, in France we have lower healthcare costs compared to the US. I know that Donald is going to cut the drugs prices by 1,000%, but still, at the moment we have better prices, and we have an excellent French healthcare system. We have just in Nice we have 3-4 hospitals actually, and so it's very easy to find medication and to find solutions if you have an health problem. The public transportation in Nice and the whole French area, but are really well developed. We have cycling lanes in Nice everywhere. I personally have an electric bike and I do everything with my electric bike in Nice. No car. I only take the car when I have to go for viewings or meetings outside Nice, but in Nice it's all with my electrical bike. And yeah, you have a big housing variety. You have different styles of architecture, different from the charming apartments in the old town to modern buildings, new builds. And so yeah, definitely a lot of different possibilities for housing. We have also a very big international community now in the French Riviera and also in Nice. Nice came a little bit after, but now it's very international also, which is very interesting. When you want to settle here, it makes integration easier. You have a lot of British, British, Italians, Scandinavians, many Americans, of course. And yeah, we're English friendly. A lot of people speak English here, so it's easy to integrate. There's no real barrier. There is no real challenge for the language. I'm part, for example, of the American Club of the Riviera, which is not only American, it's open to all nationalities, but it's a very active club, very nice. So again, it's not a problem. Of course, my advice is to learn some French because you will need it, and it's also a nice way to melt in local community. So yeah. Education in family. If you have kids, you have different international schools in Nice and around Nice, in Mougins, Valbonne, and Nice. Yeah, different schools. Business schools also. We have EDEC. We have Schema. Different business schools, English speaking also in the French Riviera. It's a safe environment. There is generally lower crime than in major US cities, and it's a very family-friendly atmosphere. And of course, it's very appealing for remote workers or retirees also, because we have, of course, strong internet, a lot of co-working spaces, and as we said before, a favorable lifestyle for nomads. which is pretty nice. And we have also a bilateral social security agreement with the US for retirement social security, which is pretty good. And there are also a lot of activities for kids. So yeah, that was just to, in addition to what was presented before. I would like to now do a little focus on real estate prices. So here on the left on the slide, you have the what I would call the extended French Riviera from Menton on the east here to I would call normally the French Riviera stops at La Seine-sur-Mer more or less here. Not supposed to include Toulon, but it's there. Okay. And on the right on the slide you have the real I would say French Riviera from Menton to just after Cannes, called the Alpes-Maritimes, and of course so as you can see here, the closest to the sea, the highest the prices, and going up to the inland, the prices get lower. Except, of course, when you get close to the ski resorts, because then it's there's demand again, and the prices go up. So we just focus here. For example, I wanted to give you two examples of prices in the French Riviera. So in Nice, the average price it's for an apartment would be about 5,000 euros per square meter. The low is supposed to be 3,200, but if you find one, you just call me because there is no more prices at that rate. But and the high can go to 11,000 or even more. I'm sorry, or even more. I'm sorry, just I call that that's my screen. Yeah. Yeah, 7,300 or more. Like for example, the Carré d'Or in Nice would be more. The Cap de Nice, you have prices that goes up to 20,000 euros. Cap de Nice is when we're getting close to Villefranche-sur-Mer on the east of Nice. And for a house, the average price is about 6,300 euros. Again, in the stats, the lowest price it's 3,290, but I don't see them anywhere existing. And the highest 11,000 euros more or less, and can be also even more. And I wanted to give you another example of lower prices in the Riviera, which are around Grasse. Grasse is a city that is about 40 minutes driving from Nice. It's in the countryside, inland, on the north of Cannes. And there, because we're a bit far away from the coast, prices are lower. So the average for an apartment is about 3,500, and for a house 4,200. Of course, again, depending on the condition of the house, where exactly it is located, prices can be different. But this is just an average. But I wanted to show you two different possibilities and two different prices ranges in the Riviera. The evolution of prices in Nice. So investing in the French Riviera in Nice, it's a good investment. It's been going up since years. So in the last 10 years, it's plus 36%, which is huge. We're just talking about that with Traci and Marc a couple of weeks ago. We did an appraisal of their house, which took more than 300,000 euros price in 4 years almost. Yeah. So plus yeah, and we only had a little slowdown in 2023 because there was increase in the interest rates for loans, and so it has there was less demand because we went from interest rates that were at 1.5% to 4 or 5%. So there was a downfall in demand. But it's always positive, and we're back to we started again going up, so it's plus 3.6% the last 2 years, so it keeps on going up. So it's interesting because it's a good investment, and unless the global economy collapses, I don't see prices going down here. So basically, it means that if you buy a property here in the next 5 to 10 years, you're sure to make if you resell, you're sure to make an added value. So that's very positive. I don't know. No, I can click on the. Okay, I wanted to show you. I will check after with the organization if I can show you a couple of apartments that we found for our clients. here. I would just check after. And just wanted to finish this presentation with what we do. So we help buying, as I said before, we help you buy your house here or renting your house here with dedicated services. We have a free initial consultation. If you want to, if you have a project to buy or rent here, you can have a free consultation with us. And then we'll help you again, finding your property here, going through the notary process, checking the house. We'll control a lot of things about the property so that you're sure that you buy a safe property. We help you negotiate. We provide assistance with the bank, with utilities, insurance, contractors if there are work to do. We had a couple of projects lately that we did with buying an apartment that needed renovation, so we can do that also. And there is also, of course, post-acquisition support. Our fees are from 1.3 to 0.85 of the net property price. It's scaling with the property value, and plus eventually collaboration with the agency. And if we find a house for a private seller, it's a fixed price of 4.2%. We can send you details after. About the same service for renting. So same thing, we'll help you in finding the renting, controlling the lease, checking that everything is okay with the apartment. And for that, we have fixed fees. And recently we have developed a new service, which is a rent and buy service, which is basically to help you buy your property while you're renting. So we help you with both renting, either short-term, 1 to 9 months, and during that time we help you buy the property, either more, and we have special advantages for you if you choose these services. And all our contacts are in the last page of this presentation that we will share, that Clément will share with you at the end of this webinar. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'm here.
Thank you very much, Fabricio. That was clear, really clear, and a lot of options. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, as you said, we will share it after, so you can find the presentation and Fabricio contact on Frenchly.us. We have a quick question about from Molly, who is asking, and you already kind of answered, like where to avoid touristy and more integrated French life place. You talked about the region of Grasse.
Yeah, there's also differences in each city. Also, for example, if you want to buy in Nice, of course, there are some areas which are very nice and which are a little bit away from the tourist, I would say, center. For example, if you want to buy an apartment in Nice, I always talk about Libération, which is also the place where I live. Which is a neighborhood which is just one tram station away from the train station. So it's a little bit north of Nice, I would say, but it's got everything, and that's where Marc and Jesse bought their apartment with us. And it's much more local, less touristy, and you still have all the advantages of being in Nice. And if we speak wide, it should be more about the French Riviera. Yes, of course. The coast is very touristy, yeah, for sure. So as soon as you move a little bit inland, then you have more peace, I would say, in the summer.
Okay.
This is in the summer, of course, yeah, because it's from. They say that the peak months are from June to September, and then it's okay.
Yeah, and you mentioned Marc with us today as well to share his experience. Thank you, Marc, for joining us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, wow, those are some great presentations. I have to be honest with you. So the first presentation, we've been owners in Nice for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and happily, most of the things that first presenter mentioned, we have done a lot of those things, which is great, including Carnival, skiing. Traveling east and west by train, by car. We did the Christmas markets, all the shops in Old Town, and everything else like that. So I was happy to see that we've rather infiltrated nicely into all the activities there. For me as well, we get to Nice many different ways. You know, as she mentioned, by plane, very easy out of New York from JFK. Many times we hop into Rome or Paris and then take an EasyJet or a Wizz Air down to Nice. But we also have out of Newark, New Jersey, we can fly direct on La Compagnie right into Nice, which is just a dream come true. So I concur, many, many different ways to get there to make it easy for us from the United States, for sure.
So yeah, sorry. No. Sorry. Go ahead. No. I just said because I was thinking about what Traci said before, the difference of pace and rhythm in between America, US, and here, and especially New York. And I remember,
we're slowly adjusting. I think everything Traci said was so on point. Like, in fact, today I was at work and I was done with work and people said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going home to take a siesta," because that's what I'm kind of used to now. I'm used to, like, between 1 and 3, if I have time, it's about me. It's about taking a break. It's whatever I need to do. So we're learning to adjust to our new life over in Nice, it's perfect for us. It's relaxing. It's joyful. It's simple. It's welcoming. It's truly been a great experience from that point of view. Who'd want to take a vacation from the United States and only be what is another version of the United States? That's not acceptable to us.
Yeah, I remember that from the beginning when you bought the apartment with us, you were saying like, "Oh, we'll come once a year," and now you come like once a month. More or less.
That is definitely true. My kids use it more than I do, which is great. Jessica goes every month or 2. Originally, we were thinking somewhat naively about buying right by La Promenade down there in Old Town. And Fabricio said, "No, you have to, if you really want to do this the right way and live in Nice, you want to be up north in Liberation area. So at least it feels like a community, feels like a home, feels residential, but yet it's only a 10-minute walk, if that, to the beach and to all these other little special areas in and around Nice." So I really appreciated that your guidance and your advice with that, Fabricio, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's. I have a lot of people who wants to when they want Nice. Well, we do the whole French Riviera, of course, but they want Nice. So a lot of people want the Carré d'Or because it's famous, it's well known. You know, Carré d'Or, it's the very heart of Nice. And I always say, okay, you want the Carré d'Or, but let me just show you 1 block away or 2 blocks away from the Carré d'Or and see what you can get for the same money, you know, and also be a little bit away from, you know, the crowd, you know. So yeah.
It's genuinely quiet where I live, which I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I literally walk 1 block north of the train station, and it's like a whole different world, which I really appreciate. You know, for sure.
And we heard like Traci is like working on her French. Is it like how is it for you? Like, are you learning as well? Yeah.
My wife is. That is true. I'm lagging behind because I'm just working so much, but I will get there for sure. But Jessica is 100% en route. She took French in junior high and high school year, but she's definitely making her plans to learn the language more, for sure. But it is nice, as Fabricio and Traci and everyone said, like, a lot of people do speak English down there. They don't make you feel unwelcome if you speak English. There's a lot of back and forth, and if it really is a struggle, you have things on your phone now, you know, Google Translate and other things, and it's kind of been fun to do that. You're never in a pinch. Everyone's very, very welcoming and agreeable to any way of communication.
Yeah. So, well, settling in France would be, I mean, your wife is already doing more back and forth. The idea at the end would be like to live in France.
We're thinking like 6 months and 6 months, but we have to break it up because without the visa, we're just being a tourist, so to speak. We can only be there for so many days in a half a year, which I think is 90 days. So our initial plan is to do 3, go back for 3, then do another 3 months, and then go back to 3 months until or if the visa thing, comes true.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe we can also have Traci and Savita with us, so we can exchange. Yeah, thank you again for being with us today. For an American willing to move to France, what would you think is the biggest challenge?
Well, I have to say for us, our initial plan was not France. We just thought about the EU specifically. And then I actually thought we were going to wind up in Italy somewhere. But my wife pursued several different options. And I only had one real request, which I thought made a lot of sense, was wherever we go, I needed to be centrally located. So I feel like I can zip in there and then use that as my jumping off spot to everywhere across the region. And we basically one night mapped it out, and Nice came up as literally the center portion of the EU. And we did a visit and a dry run, so to speak, and literally everything fell into place really, really nicely. It is so easy to get in and out. It's so easy to get to other places, whether it's by plane, train, automobile, e-bike, walking, renting a car, and for us, it's not too rural. It almost feels like what I have here on Long Island outside of New York City, like multicultural, but I'm not in an isolated area. And so for me, the challenge wasn't that great. The biggest challenge was probably finding someone like Fabricio, which came naturally because my wife spent a lot of time researching on YouTube videos and things of that nature. And Fabricio had quite a decent presence on there. And from there, he took the ball and ran with it. It was actually much, much easier than I thought.
Okay, that's great.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
We lived it from beginning to end, and we still do now. As Fabricio said in the beginning, Fabricio's our friend. When we come, we always make time to meet up with him and relax and talk about things and whatnot. Like, he's not just our realtor. He really has become a true part of the family for us.
That's great. So you know who you have to contact. And I also hear, Marc, like it's a different experience. So you can have both experience in Nice, either like doing a lot because you are connected in the center of Europe, but also Traci, you were saying you can also really slow down. So
that is important.
Absolutely.
That is the biggest blessing about being here is and I would say, if you're thinking about the stereotypes about Paris, I hope I don't offend anybody with that one, but it's kind of the difference between Paris and Nice area is the difference between New York and, say, Charleston. Mm-hmm. So it's really that type of difference of it's an entirely different type of people. Yes. The speed is different. The people here go around, they say hello to one another. You wouldn't say that in New York, but you hear, like you get that on the street, and people are kind, and it's a very different atmosphere than anything that might be widely painted in a brush about northern France. Is very different from southern France. Very, very different.
I would concur completely. People actually look at you in the eye and want to greet you, as opposed to walking by and looking down to the ground as if you didn't even walk past them. Again, I don't live in the city. If I can amend something, I'm an hour and a half almost east of Long Island, so I'm part of New York, but it's a little different. But I agree with everything Traci said. It's just so relaxing and so stress-free. You could be as busy as you want over there, or as relaxing, or a couch potato, we say over here, as much as you want. Very, very simply. Very, very simply.
Nice. And for you, Traci, what would you say would be the biggest challenge if you'd like to move to France at one point?
For me, my situation is slightly different. My husband has dual citizenship here. And so I have a full-time visa where I can be here every day. And so I go back and forth a lot, but I'm also in the process of now, and that is the most difficult thing is really just following all the processes and doing all the things, right? And so there's a lot of it that it's a little more it's a lot more complicated than, say, people coming to the United States, I think, and doing immigration there. And they, there is a certain requirement of how we're going to, how you do all the things. With that in mind, like I'm going through multiple years of visas, and now I'm going to get I'm applying for my 10-year visa card and my naturalization at the same time. So that's why I'm going through each of the hoops that have to be done and trying to make sure that I'm, this model candidate to actually become French.
That's
Okay.
That's great. I just, like, for us, I really was rather simple. I found the process, and maybe Traci can concur, that very seller friendly. They want to make sure that, like, the seller protections more there than back here in the United States. I found the process with Fabricio to be really, really, really straightforward. From beginning to end. And like Traci said, I never saw my apartment before I purchased it. My wife saw it once, and it just happened like magic. We're back home. It could take 3 or 4 months, multiple meetings, mounds and mounds of paperwork. And,
that's how it is here normally.
What's that?
I said that's how it is here normally.
Unless you hid the paperwork from me, I didn't feel that, which was nice. And I got an email one day saying, you closed on your property yesterday from the notaire. And I was like, this is great. I just loved the process from beginning to end. And even after we closed, we still have people like Fabricio in our life, getting us a bank account, hooking us up for the electricity, for the Wi-Fi, for anything that we need. So we didn't just get dumped to the side once we found our place. Like Fabricio and his team have been with us every step of the way, and that's what we needed. Otherwise, we would be completely lost.
Oh, completely agree with you, Marc, on that one. I mean, Fabricio and his team sat here at our at our new kitchen table and turned on our utilities with us and help us to do all these things. And the thing is, like, it's understanding, like, you understand how to do the processes in the U.S. because we've done that, right? We're mature people, but how to do it here is a little bit different. And so having someone who can answer all the questions and pull all the pieces together and has this larger team that can handle all this. So we've got, we had the notaire, but we've also had, attorneys to do other things, and accountants and all the other teams of people that you need to come up with, the contractors and this. So Fabricio was able to manage like all of these pieces to help us understand like what we needed and who was going to be there to support us. That
in some ways it was easier than buying my house here in the United States. I feel comfortable saying that, really.
Wow. This is because in the States it's easy normally. So thank you.
No, I'm in New York. Nothing's easy in New York. And it really isn't. It really isn't. I mean, Fabricio, even as simple as when we found the place and the seller, I'm sorry, I have to go back and say it's buyer centric. What I said before, I apologize. They want to make sure, when I said before, they want to make sure that the buyer is protected. I apologize what I said before. So when we contacted the seller and said we were interested, he took it off the market for 10 days and allowed Jessica to fly over there and look at it without giving any deposit, anything. That just doesn't happen here in the United States. It's really, you don't save a place until you put 20% down. So right out of the gate, something as simple as that gentleman saying, I know you're interested. I'm not going to show it to anyone until your wife comes in 7 to 10 days. I knew right away it was going to be great, just right from the beginning.
And another thing is you don't have the bidding war process that you have in the United States. So if you put an offer on a place, then they can't other people can't come in and put other offers in and jack the price up for you. So it keeps you from having this overinflated sense of pricing in the market too. That's very helpful.
Thank you for sharing all of those really meaningful information. Our session is coming to an end, but we will share it again on replay on the Frenchy.us. I wanted just to thank you again for coming today and presenting everything.
Thank you.
Start with Savita. If you need some more inspiration, please contact her and go visit Nice and the region. It's truly inspiring, as you could say. And if you have any property, either investment or buying your house, in the French Riviera, you know who to talk to. Fabricio is here. So thank you very much. We will just share again our partners quick video, but just before that, let me present you the last two sessions we have tomorrow, Thursday, October 2nd. We will talk about the northwest of France with Loire and Brittany and also Normandy. And October 3rd, we will talk about the northeast with Bourgogne and Alsace, other beautiful places of France. Thank you again for following us. And let's see you tomorrow on Thursday. Thank you again.
Bonjour and welcome. I'm Alison Lunes, founder of Your Transformation, and we're thrilled to be sponsoring this year's Dream Life in France Summit with Frenchly. At Your Transformation, we help individuals, couples, and families turn their dream of living in France into reality with expert support for visa applications, relocation planning, and everything that comes after you arrive in France. Whether you're just starting to explore your move or you're ready to take the leap, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Start by checking out our book Foolproof French Visas and attending one of our free monthly Q&A sessions. And let's start making your dream life in France happen together.